We are going to take you live now to Hobart, where Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is speaking.
Hobart morning with Premier Rockcliffe, with my ministers Julie Collins, Catherine King and Carol Brown, as well as members of the Premier's team for what is a very exciting announcement. This is Tasmania here in Hobart's last possible urban waterfront development site. And I said to the Premier as we were walking up here along what is looks like a pretty derelict land that we've walked along the path here, that we didn't need to do this to set us up, that something was necessary at this site. Way back in 2012 I stood just down there and committed $50 million as the Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development for the development of a plan for this site. And the truth is that more should have been done over the last decade. The truth is also that more can be done for this site. Done as an urban development project that will create enormous economic activity for Hobart and indeed for all of Tasmania. And that's why we've been working cooperatively with Jeremy to develop plans to make sure that we maximise the use of this site for the economy of Tasmania, for jobs, but also for improving the amenity and livability of this beautiful city of Hobart. The city's just 2 k's up that way, and the best cities in the world don't have this sort of terrain on their waterfront. You look at Barangaroo in Sydney and what it's done to transform. You look at the Docklands project in Melbourne and what has occurred there. Elizabeth Quays in Perth, South Bank in Brisbane. What this project will be is a very significant project that will lift up Tasmania and lift up this most beautiful of cities here in Hobart. Make sure that we maximise for those who live here and those who have the privilege of visiting here the experience of Hobart. Hobart needs more investment. Right here, housing will be a major focus of this plan. Crown land at Regatta Point will be developed through a private-public partnership, including affordable housing, housing for essential health workers so close to the hospital facilities here. The government advises that some 4,200 jobs are expected to be created during construction of the precinct, and that when Tasmania hopefully has its own AFL team, as it should, that will produce as well ongoing jobs in tourism, in hospitality, as well as lifting up the sights of young Tasmanians who will aspire to play for Tasmania in the Australian Football League. It's not an Australian Football League if it leaves off the South Island, and that's what's occurred for too long, in spite of the fact that some of the greatest players, like Peter Hudson, of course, were developed here in Tasmania. So this is an exciting project. It as well goes together the $240 million that we have for this project, that will see here a stadium, that will see housing, that will see private investment as well, that will see importantly the port facilities so that we can have greater access to the Antarctic from here as well. This is a revitalisation project that will transform this city. It is one that I'm very pleased to support. The Commonwealth will be providing in the budget in 10 days' time $240 million of funding for this site and $65 million for the upgrade of AFL Stadium in Launceston as well, because we want to make sure that the benefits of having an AFL team based here in Tasmania means that they can play both in Hobart and in Launceston as well to deliver the economic benefits for the whole state of Tasmania.